Good afternoon. My name is Josh and today we're going to go through the IELTS speaking exam. I'm going to explain each part and what is necessary and what is important in your answers when you are proceeding the questions. With this part, it will take about 11 to 14 minutes in total. And in total, there is 3 different parts which will require you to give various different answers, and it's based on different topics. So let's start with part 1. With part 1, it will last about 3 to 4 minutes, and the examiner is going to ask you a wide range of questions. For example, it could be about your family life, about life at home, your studies, your work, your free times, lots of different things. With these answers, try to give a straightforward answer. You don't need to make it too complicated, but make sure it's a complete answer. No yes or no answers. And make sure you give reasons for your answers. Give explanation and opinions and so forth. So that's basically part 1. With part 2, it's a little bit more complex. The examiner will give you a task card that looks something similar to this. With the task card, you need to go through and evaluate each point and give an answer to each point. You will have 1 minute to plan your answer. Here, try to think about the language you are using, how to give a complete answer and so forth. Afterwards, you will then need to speak for 2 whole minutes. You are expected to continue speaking throughout the whole length of time. So make sure you practice at home speaking for 2 minutes. The more you practice, the more you're going to improve. After you have given your talk, the examiner may ask you some extra questions to give more opinion about the topics. Now, the topic can be various. It could be about sports or work, so many different things. So make sure you practice talking about different topics. And then over to part 3. Part 3 will also take about 3 to 4 minutes. The topic of part 3 will be the same topic as part 2. However, it will give you more focus on your opinions. Maybe you might have to make a recommendation. You need to analyze your points and give further details about what you've spoken about in part 2. With this part, you will also be having the conversation with the examiner. So in part 2, you speak alone, whereas in part 3, you are conversing with the examiner and the examiner will ask you some questions. General tips: practice speaking English every day. The more you practice, the more you're going to improve, especially with part 2 when you have to speak for a length of time. Also practice giving opinions. Try not to use I think about other ways, from my point of view, for this reason. Give other explanation and think about the wide range of use of English that you can use. Apart from that, just go through, make sure you give nice, clear answers. It doesn't need to be too complicated, okay? Well, that is everything for the part 2. If you need to find out more information about the other parts of the exams, please check out my videos. If not, see you again soon.